Welcome to today's episode of Free to Lead, Journeys of Leaders, driven by passion, inspired by purpose. And today we have a leader who is definitely inspired by his purpose, Dr. Roger Lu Wu, and he's a brand certified optometrist, a wellness innovator, and the visionary founder of the eye drink. We'll talk about that in the podcast. And over two decades of clinical experience, he's dedicated his career to advancing eye health and increasingly in this increasingly screen-dominated world where people are getting eye strain from being on their tablets, their phones, their computers, and he's taken this on. He's passionate about helping people overcome the eye strain and the damage to eyes. He's created a special drink, which he'll tell us about, and is passionate about empowering people to take proactive control over their vision health. So without further ado, Roger, welcome to Free to Lead.
Yeah, thank you, Will. Thanks for having me here.
All right, great. So I'm very excited to hear about what you're doing. Immediately when I was introduced to you, was thinking about my son. He's experiencing eye strain at the moment. I'm not surprised. He's always on his phone or his tablet or his computer. So it doesn't surprise me. So it sounds like something really great that you're taking on.
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting adventures journey for me from the get-go. I've been practicing since '97, and we've gone through the earlier days when there's no smartphone, there's no iPad. It's just desktop or laptop, that's it. So we already noticed a little issues back then. Ever since the first iPhone, iPad start coming out, oh my God, all the numbers are going through the roof. That's why the term is called digital eye strain, by the way. That's the newer one. Digital eye strain right now is actually one of the hottest issues right now in the eye care industry. Every doctor talking about it, specifically the dry eye, the screen-induced dry eyes. But there's not a lot of solution to it. Honestly, we tell patients all day long, take a break, don't spend too much time on it, drink more water, easier said than done. The compliance rate is just definitely less than 10%, way less than 10%. So we continue to see those issues. You can say out of frustrations, I decided to come up with this solution, this beverage right there. It's called the eye drink. We just recently launched the products online from our website. We only use the scientifically proven ingredients. Yes, we don't sell snake oils. We make sure that all the ingredients are, there are a lot of white papers to back it up. Believe it or not, actually some of the ingredients, I'm not sure you've gone out shopping at the supermarket or pharmacies, you can find that eye vitamins. It's called AREDS2, AREDS2. So our beverage is based on that formulations. And in addition to the AREDS2 formulation, we added the omega-3 there, not just any omega-3. We added the algae-based triglyceride form omega-3. So it's a vegan-friendly, number one. And being a triglyceride form, so it actually can enhance the GI absorptions. We use the key those premium ingredient to come up with this beverages. So hope billions of people can benefit from, because everyone's on computer these days, right?
Let's break it down a little bit so I can hear you. Definitely a scientist, right? Definitely into the science of it. So let me just create it a little bit for everyone listening and for myself to get a clearer picture of how this works. So let's say we've got people and they're on their phones hours, right?
Yep.
So how does that, I mean, it says if I was reading books for hours now, maybe my eye strain, but on computers, it seems to be worse. So what is it about computer screens that's making it worse? I'm not even sure what dry eye is. I can imagine what it is, but you could probably elaborate a little bit. There's that, and then I believe there's also some other damage that gets done in the eye itself. So if you could explain this a little bit in simple terms,
primarily there are two major issues when people look at the screen. The first one is the blue light. I'm pretty sure a lot of people heard about it, blue light. What's the big deal about blue light? Let's talk about UV light. Everyone knows about the UV damage to your skin, to your eyes. The wavelength of the UV light is between 200 to 400 nanometers. And then the blue light is specifically the one generated by our screen. The wavelength of that is from 400 to 500. But specifically coming from the screen, it's between 400 to 450. We call that the high energy blue light. So you have this blue light that can potentially penetrate all the way to the back of the eye, to the retina, and causing
It goes
retinal
right
damage.
through the eye, all the membranes of the eye, all
Yep.
the tissues of
Yeah,
the
going
eye.
through the cornea, the lens, everything, vitreous, and basically hit the back of the eyes. So your macula is actually being damaged by the blue light. Okay, so there is a lot of study talking about right now. That's why people are taking vitamin to protect that, and also people are wearing the blue light filtering lenses, trying to minimize the exposures. So we get this potential blue light damage causing macular issue down the road. We know that, and we have an instrument to measure that. But the instrument essentially measures the pigmentation of your macula. Okay, the macula is the most central part of the retina, which is the most critical part. Like I'm chatting with you, or I'm looking at something, driving, whatever. I'm using my macula to look at detail objects. So that's the most critical part of the retina. So we have an instrument that can actually measure the pigmentation of the macula. So what the blue light does is destroy that pigmentation. Okay, so it's very important that you need to maintain a certain amount of pigmentation in the macula to protect the eye. So macula, the pigmentation essentially works like pretty much like a sunscreen for your macula. So that's why that pigmentation is it's a critical factor to something that we measure all the time. And then the next thing is dry eyes.
Wait, before you move on. So now the UV light, the blue light, can get through because it destroyed the pigmentation that was blocking and protecting the what's it called?
Macular pigmentation.
Right?
Yeah.
So now what damage gets done to it? Now there's less protection to it. What actual damage does that blue light do?
Initially, there is the functional damage. Okay, luckily, functional damage is reversible. So functional damage, you may have a slower reaction time when it comes to testing your macular. So we have a slower reaction time that which we're seeing right now, even among teenagers, believe it or not. We're coming out with numbers that's horrendous. Like you shouldn't have that kind of results for someone who's teenagers. If you're a 75-year-old, that's okay, but no, not someone who's 15, 20-year-old. So that's the first thing, that you get this functional delay.
How would you know? How would you know you were suffering from that? It takes a while for the number or the letter to focus when you're looking at it.
Yes, there's a test. We measure we call it the MPOS score, macular pigment optical density score. Okay, that's an acronym for that MPOS score. So the best way to get that tested is there's a special instrument. So you need to look for a doctor who actually has those kind of equipment to measure that pigmentation. So give you an MPOS score. So we routinely, all the patients that basically come to my office, we routinely do those tests with their eyes. So over the year, we see a downtrend of those scores.
Yes.
Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, people actually lowered the standard, believe it or not. Back in even probably more than 5 years ago, before pandemic, the gold standard is to have your MPOS score at 5.50 or higher. A couple of years ago, people decided to lower the score to 0.40 to make people happier. Some people, so I'm not sure why people decided to do that or doctors decided to do that, but right now the standard is 0.40. But personally, I like to keep all my patients above 0.50 because there are studies saying that if your number fall below 0.50, your chance of getting macular issues down the road just exponentially go higher. So we don't want to chances that. So that's the instrument that you measure that during the day. Normally, in our daily lives, you don't even notice any changes right now until it's too late. So functional damage, you can only measure using those equipment, specialized equipments for that. The next thing is if you continue to ignore your functional damage, the next thing obviously is the structural damage. Once you have the actual structural damage, we can take almost like a CT scan for the eye, we call it OCT. There's a picture you can take in to see the actual damage. And most macular damage, if it's actual structural damage right there, is not reversible, it's permanent. So you don't want to wait until you have a structural damage before you decide to do something. So you got to start creating a good habit of using your devices. Don't use the device in the dark. Make sure you're taking your essential vitamins for the eyes. Make sure you wear the good quality pair of lenses that filter out the blue light. Those are the things that you need to do. Okay, so that's a blue light damage. There's only one aspect of excessive screen time. The second one is dry eyes, screen-induced dry eyes.
Why is that? Why does it dry the eyes?
Yeah, normally if we're not doing anything, we just relax, we're chatting, we blink anywhere from 12 to 18 times per minute. Okay, that's the average. So studies coming out saying that if you're looking at a pixelated screen, your blink rate could go down as low as 2.5 times per minute. Okay, so so this lack of blink, this increase in blink rate causing your natural tear to evaporate more. That's one thing. And also the second one is a lot of people, when they're looking at a screen, their upper eyelids don't come all the way down. So you get this partial blink, or sometimes I call it the lazy blinker. Your upper
Yeah.
eyelid only come down half or two-thirds, and then goes back up. So cause the bottom half of the eye to get completely dried out. So that's another issue. We get this partial or poor blink characteristics. So those are the issue. That's why people are getting dry eyes these days. Obviously, there's other issue we can go into it. There's causing a lid issue, the eyelid inflammation, causing from a lack of blink, causing a lot of debris
Yeah.
start building up. All those things cause dry eyes. So that's why also dry eye, specifically the computer or screen-induced dry eye, is also one of the hottest topics in the eye care industry.
Right.
Again, all the advice I gave to my patient pretty much fell in deaf ear. People just don't listen. They'll say, whatever. Maybe they'll remember it, but the moment they walk out
Yeah.
in my office, they pick up their cell phone and start looking at it again. It's just out of that frustration, I decided to come up with beverage.
Yes. And so the beverage is what's it called again?
The eye drink.
Eye drink. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And how frequently would they need to drink that? Just as
Ideally, depends on how much time you spend on your devices. Minimum 1 bottle a day. Personally, I drink 2 bottles a day. Okay, that's kind of like my routine. My lunch and my dinner, I just drink those.
Yeah.
And then you can drink up to 4 bottles. 4 bottles a day. So it's internally we call it the Gatorade for your eyes. So that's pretty much what we have right now. And then it's got the key ingredients to protect your macula, and also the omega-3 to minimize your dry eyes. And also we use coconut water to keep you hydrated, because hydration is the issue. I mean, you can take all the vitamin in the world, but if you don't drink enough water, you're not going to produce enough tear, because our natural tear is about 94 to 98% water. You're not drinking enough water, just taking vitamin, taking fish oil, it's not gonna help. Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. Very good. Good. Great. And what's your biggest challenge? Let's see, so far. So you're also an entrepreneur, right? You're also promoting the drink. So where are you at so far with the drink? Is it in certain states? Is it?
We just launched online from our store, the idrink.com, and we just launched it a few weeks ago. And our phase 1 is selling through doctors' offices. We have a trade show coming up in about a month and a half in Las Vegas. So we'll be selling through, basically signing up as affiliate doctors to start selling out of their offices first. That's phase 1. And obviously phase 2 is to get the distributors and sell it into specialty supermarket like a Whole Foods or those places. And then even pharmacy potentially. And also we're exploring possibility of selling it to those are huge employers like Google, Oracle. They have big campuses with thousands of people working there. And perhaps we can have beverage available in their at the vending machine, at their cafeteria, things like this, because those people stare at their computer hours each day. So that's our business model right now.
Yeah, it's everywhere where people use computers, plus everyone's on their phones hours and hours every day nowadays.
Yeah, anyone who spend at least 2 to 3 hours each day on their devices can benefit from our beverage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. And then, so people can reach you by going to your website, right? Obviously, idrink.com. Excellent. All right. Good. So where do you see all this going? Like in, I don't know, in 5 years' time, where do you see it all?
Most likely we'll get acquired. Most likely. My CMO, his name is Jorge Olson. If you look him up, he's like a rock star in the beverage industry. A lot of people were surprised I was able to recruit him as my CMO. It took a while. It took a lot of convincing. And then he had never heard of beverage like this in his life, never seen that.
Yes.
And so he did his own research. And then when he were out there at the airport for his flight or at the restaurant, he started paying more attention to how many people actually stare at their devices, their cell phone, instead of chatting to other people. And then he did his own research, realizing, my God, this is just an issue these days. I was lucky enough to convince him to be part of the team and pretty much drive the bus, so to speak. And then we're trying to hire talents and recruit, basically raise money right now we do this, we call it the scaling round. To do all the marketing. So that's primarily our focus at this time.
Yes, very good. All right, great. I wish you lots of luck with that, and we should talk. I coach people like you to get these things going, so it will be great. Fantastic.
Appreciate
For you to come on the Free to Lead, Roger. It's great to have you here, and an eye-opener for us all who didn't know that there is actually something we can do about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Great.
And then the most exciting thing is we have early clinical data proving that our beverages works way better than taking capsules. Okay.
Fabulous.
You can, yeah. So in 90 days, right? In 90 days, we see some crazy numbers. The number was so good, we had to repeat the test. Let's put it that way. Yeah. You have to take the same vitamins for 2 years in a row religiously to get the same results when compared to drinking our juices for 90 days in a row. So that's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah. My son's in Italy, and it's like wanting to start drinking it.
We have to figure out a way to ship it over there. Right now, it's only available in the US. We're exploring other options right now. We have several people trying to buy it from Canada. We have to figure out a way. So we should have those ready pretty soon, hopefully within the next few weeks. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. All right, Roger, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Will Steele here. Thanks so much for listening to the Free to Lead podcast, Journeys of Leaders, driven by passion, inspired by purpose. If you're a successful leader and you're driven by passion and you're inspired by your purpose and you'd love to be a guest on the show, we'd love to have you. Just visit podcast.willsteele.com. That's podcast.willsteele.com. Will Steele is spelled WILLSTEEL, all one word. If you got something out of today's interview and you'd love to share it on your social media, we'd love you to do that. You can take a screenshot on your phone, you can text it to a friend or post it on your socials. And if you know someone you think they'd be a great guest, tag them on social media or just let them know about the show and include the hashtag Free to Lead. I love seeing your posts and suggestions. We're regularly putting out new episodes and content, and to make sure you don't miss any episodes, go ahead and subscribe. Your thumbs up, your ratings, your reviews, and your comments go a long way to help promote the show, and that means a lot to me and my team. If you want to know more, go to our website, willsteele.com, or follow me on LinkedIn under Will Steele, or Facebook under Will Steele, or Instagram under Will Steele Coaching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.